Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you a few stretches for your hip flexor. I'll then move on to your glute and your quads. These guys are really important to alleviate back pain. I find the hip flexor stretch one that really helps back pain. We've spoken about this a bit, so I'll show you a couple of different stretches there. Alright, so for the hip flexor stretch, we're going to be stretching the left side here. So you're looking at setting up at around about that 90-degree angle on both knees. Okay, and if you've got a chair or something to lean up against, if your balance is no good, and then what we want to do is just staying up nice and upright. We're going to push that hip forward, making sure that we're not also lunging forward with that. Okay, so it's pushing the hip forward and just leaning back into it a little bit so you get that stretch through upper quad right up into the hip flexor. Okay, so that's, for a lot of people with a tight hip flexor, that's enough of a stretch. Okay, if you want to really emphasize the hip flexor stretch, you can pull that toe up as well, and that'll really amplify that stretch. Okay, right up, and making sure that you keep that hip nice and straight. So there's no point trying to get that heel to your bum by pushing your hip back. You're going to lose that stretch. So it doesn't matter where your heel is. Just making sure that you're staying up nice and upright. Okay, I always find it easier if you've got something to balance on. If you've got good balance, you can do it just freestanding. But also if you've got a chair or something in your hotel room or at home, these are also really good to help with your hip flexor stretch. A good setup here is just chucking a toe onto the box or your chair, sorry, and then just kneeling down and using that step to help amplify that stretch. That's a really good stretch for your quad and your hip flexor. Obviously, that's it's not one you're going to try right away. See how flexible you are. If you are really tight, and can't get your heel closer to your bum in that first stretch, this is not going to be a great one to start with. We don't want to rip your quad or your hip flexor. So once you are quite limber, this is a really good one to really get stuck right into it. And again, just hold for that sort of 20-second count, switch legs, do it a couple of times through.